Hi everyone, today's video is going to be a really fun video. I did film this eye look and like the cheeks and the highlight and things like that separately. This video is only for the concealer and a little bit of the foundation, but the foundation isn't too much. I didn't really go in depth with that. I just wanted this video to mainly focus on covering your under eye darkness and also prevent creasing. So be aware that this is a lot of steps. It's pretty excessive, but this is not for everyday wear. If you want to wear this every day, then feel free. I would not recommend this for every day just because I feel like it's so heavy and you just need to let your skin breathe. But for special occasions and if you need your makeup to last a long time, and this is just what I have developed that really helps me, and I really hope that this helps you guys out as well. So if you're interested in seeing how I created this eye look, I will leave a link down below to the video. But let's go ahead and get started. So I've already primed my face with this Smashbox primer water, and before I apply foundation, I like to do this extra step that I feel like really does make a difference. I feel like this step is really crucial if you have like a long day or a long event and you really want your concealer to stay, if you have really bad creasing. What I like to do is just take an eyeshadow primer. You can use any eyeshadow primer you want. I just happen to have this one. Since I don't really use it as an eyeshadow primer because I feel like it's too thin for that, I decided I wanted to use this for the creases on my face. If you kind of think about it, it's kind of the same thing. You apply eyeshadow primer so your eyeshadow doesn't crease, so I feel like it's kind of the same thing with your under eye or even your smile lines. And I always crease right here, like right at my nose area, and it's one of my biggest pet peeves, and I didn't know what to do for a really long time until I started doing this step, and it has made a huge difference. Again, you can use any eyeshadow primer you want. Like I said, this was just an extra one that I had laying around and I wanted to use it up, so I'm just taking a little bit. I like to apply it to the back of my hand. I like to just kind of warm it up so that the product applies evenly. I'm gonna go ahead and apply that right under my eye. And I'm applying like the thinnest layer possible, and I'm really focusing that right up under my eye, like really close to my lash line, because that is where I have the most creasing. I'm gonna zoom you guys in just a little bit more. So take your time and really work it into your skin and just dab. And you also want to be really gentle because, as you know, the skin under the eye is super delicate. And then you kind of want to keep looking up and just kind of let the primer like sink in to your creases and kind of fill up the line so that it doesn't crease before you even start applying concealer. I like to just dab and make sure that it's dry and it's not tacky anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to my smile lines and right under my nose. So I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation, and I'm going to use the Hello Flawless by Benefit today, and this is in the shade Champagne. I'll be using a damp beauty blender to apply that. I just want to apply a thin layer. So you want to make sure you apply like the smallest amount of product right where you have a lot of creasing. So I'm not going to work it into like my smile lines and my nose, and especially my under eye. I don't want that to have too much buildup because that can also cause a lot of creasing. I'm still not applying any product right under my eye. I'm just blending like the foundation color up a little bit just so that it has like a smoother transition. I don't want it to just be really harsh. So now to the main star, I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye, and this is in the shade Neutral Medium. And this is the best concealer I have used that really helps hide your under eye darkness. Even though I don't use this alone, using this under my regular concealers makes a huge difference. And I always use this on my clients. You just have to make sure you apply a really small layer because this is really thick and it is really sticky. I personally will not use this by itself just because it's a little bit too pink for me, but I like the pink because it cancels out like any darkness underneath your eyes. And the trick to this really is to just use a really small amount. So this is as much as I'm using, and I feel like this might even be too much. And then I'm warming the product up. I'm going to apply this right below my lash line. And then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender. And you really want to apply a thin layer. But this concealer is just so bomb that even though thinnest layer still makes a huge difference. So as you can see, it instantly like brightens and cancels out any darkness I have underneath my eyes. I don't think I have too much darkness underneath my eyes, but when I do like a full glam look, I do like my under eye to be super bright and have like zero darkness. So I'm just gonna go in with whatever I warmed up on the back of my hand and do the same thing on the other eye. With whatever's left on the sponge, I like to add a little bit right around my nose because I always get really red there. And this concealer does help cancel out any redness. I'm sure you guys can all see my little friend right there. I'm just going to take a little bit of that concealer, just dab it right on top. And then I'm going to go in with my regular concealer, and this is the Too Faced Born This Way Naturally Radiant Concealer, and I'm using the shade Light Medium. This stuff smells so good because it's made with coconut water, so it just smells amazing. So I don't like to apply it directly to my under eye with the applicator because I feel like when I swipe it, it's kind of removing all the hard work that I just did. So I like to apply it onto the back of my hands, and then again with my ring finger, I'm gonna warm up the product and apply a really thin layer. And then go in with my beauty blender. Now I'm gonna go in and heavily set my under eye. Not so much bake, I would say, because I don't use that much product, but I do like to set it just a little bit more heavy than usual. You want to make sure the product is laying flat and it's not like all bumpy. That's what makes it really patchy. And again, I'm still just patting and dabbing the product on. And then I do like to let it sit for just a bit while I powder my whole face. This is the Dose of Colors setting powder brush, and I'm gonna lightly dust away the powder. You want to make sure you're lightly swiping. I have done it before where I was swiping just a little too hard and my makeup was starting to get like blotchy and patchy. With the leftover powder, I'm going to dab it on my nose because I get so oily around my nose. Alright, so this is the completed look. If you're interested in seeing how I created this eye look, I will leave a link down below. I hope that you all find this helpful. If you try it out, I would love to see. I would love to know, what do you use to conceal your under eyes? I love trying out new stuff on myself and my clients. Alright, so that is it, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye!